Welcome back to the wonderful world of Faithful with a Few. Today's video is another mild musings. I quite enjoy doing this series because I can kind of talk to you guys about things that I've been thinking about, or a word that's come to me, or kind of something that's happening to me in this season without having to sit down and do like a proper research or study type video, which makes it quicker to edit and all that kind of stuff. So my bad, selfish. But yeah, so today's video is going to be about doors. Now, one of the things that I mentioned when I did the A to Z of Christ video was D, and one of the things I said was doors. And I said in that video that how oftentimes when I'm going through things, I'm like, Jesus be an open door, Jesus be a closed door. So you know when you're going through things that are quite tough, you're just like, you know what, God, I'm done. I'm all the way done. I was waiting for you at the door. I'm all the way done. So Jesus be a closed door. Seal it, cut it off, lock it off, lock it off, lock it off. I mean, I need, I want, I borrow. Close the door, I'm done with it. And there's some other things where you're like, okay, God, I really need a breakthrough. Can you be an open door to this, you know? At work, when I'm speaking to my students, I use the metaphor of doors, and I talk to them about doors, about opening and closing and being walked through a door and all that kind of stuff. But then I was going through the Bible, and Paul was talking on two occasions in 1 Corinthians and 2 Corinthians to the church. And he was talking about doors and how God had made a way for him. And rather than saying God had made a way, he said that God had opened doors for him. And I thought, that's quite a powerful kind of metaphor. I really liked that. So then I spent a quick bit of time kind of going through doors, a little bit of other stuff in the Bible, which I'm going to go through with you now. So I'm going to get my phone because it's not fresh enough for me to do ahead. I've got to like look at my notes and stuff on my phone, but I'm pretty sure you'll be kind. So give me 1 minute. I'll be back. This feels like the interlude while I'm gone. Yeah. So in 2 Corinthians 2, chapter 2, verse 12, Paul spoke about how God had opened a door to him. And he was speaking about God had opened a door to him to go and minister. So it's quite interesting because Paul was saying that God had, provided for him. God had made a way. God had shown him where to go by opening the door. And the beauty of a door is that a door is a transporter, or it's a source of transporting you from one place to another place. So if you look at your house, outside of the door of your house, that is one place, which is like the street or whatever. But once you get behind the door, that is your house. That is another complete separate world. And so God had opened up a door to expose Paul to a different kind of world, a different kind of environment. And for Paul, it was all about going to new territory. So then God had opened the door for him to go to Ephesus, or Ephesus, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it, to open the door for him to do that. This is also paralleled against in 1 Corinthians 16, verse 9. And once again, Paul spoke about God opening a door. So I was like, well, God, if you're in the habit of opening doors, can you open some doors for me in my life? I prayed and God did open some doors. We bless his holy name. But I started to look at other times in the Bible where God had opened doors, or God had been a door to people. So, in books like Hosea, it talks about God being a door of hope, for instance, which is really beautiful, Can you imagine being hopeless and full of despair, and you just say, God, can you be a door of hope to me? Can you open hope up into my life? That's really beautiful. In Colossians 4, it talks about God being a door of utterance, like that he opened that door of utterance and made a way for his word to, go forward. In Acts, it speaks of God being a door of faith, And so the faith and through the Holy Spirit, all that kind of Pentecost stuff, that was another open door that opened the door of faith to the church in the times of Acts when the apostles were spreading the gospel. In John 10, for instance, Jesus said straight, plain and simple, I am the door, because he was waiting for you at it. Jesus said, I am the door. So Jesus said that he is the door, like that is it. Any door in life you're facing, you might find yourself at work, at church, at careers, in relationships, with your family, with people around you, with your ministry, whatever door you face in those areas, you say, Jesus, you are this door, open it or close it. Or actually, sometimes you get a door, you just need to get new hinges, get a new frame. God, strengthen this door, whatever it is you need to do. Jesus said, I am the door. And he stands at that door and no man can shut it. God said, I have put before you a door that nobody can shut. Nobody else has the keys to it. Only God alone has the keys that he can open and he can close. And so in other times in the Bible, we hear about the door, the door, the door. So I just thought it was really beautiful when Paul was then talking about God being an open door to him, and that God opened up a door to a whole new world, which was a whole new ministry in Ephesus. So the question is, what is it in your life that you need God to be an open door for you for? Or what is it in your life that you need God to close and God to be a locked door? Like in those kind of banks and those movies, you always have those reinforced, double, mega, triple thick steel doors. Nobody can open them or close them unless they know what they're doing. Do you need God to be one of those doors in your life? Or do you need God to be, a bit of a double glazing door to keep the noise out of distractions while you're pursuing your purpose? Or do you need God to be a nice wooden oak door so it can be strong? And doors provide foundation. Doors are part of the things you build when you build foundations. Do you need God to be that kind of door as part of your foundation? You know, Paul spoke a lot actually about the door. So I'm going to read a little bit about what he was saying. Paul spoke a lot about that door when he was talking about it in Corinthians to the church. And he said that how God had opened a big door. So he was talking about the height of the door, which reminds us of just how much work that Paul had waiting for him when he got there. It then said that the door was open, which is the position of the door. That the door in itself was a passageway, I wrote down. It was a corridor to his purpose. You know, do you need God to be an open door, which will be the corridor to your purpose? Also alluded to the fact that there was other things going on the opposite side of that door, which obviously were the adversaries, which was obviously the work of the enemy to stop him for, you know, ministering when he got there. You know, the purpose of that door was to be a divider between where people were right now and where God needed them to be through the conduit of Paul as his vessel. And so the door in itself, the purpose was ministry, and God had opened that door up to Paul. Then Paul also said that that was an effectual door, which reminded us that Paul said that once this door is open, there is a reason, there is something that needs to happen once this door was open. So it was an effectual door, that as a result of this door opening, something was going to happen. This wasn't a door that God had just opened for no reason. There was a purpose, there was an aftermath, there was a consequence, and blessed be the name of the Lord. It was a positive consequence because it allowed Paul to go on and minister. Therefore, it was also worth Paul's travail as well to get to the place of that door, because if you go to them Acts, so if you read the book of Acts, I think like 18 or 19, it then speaks about the ministry at Ephesus, and hundreds of people were saved. And so, you know, if Paul had not gone through that door, people would not have received salvation. So it's just a reminder that sometimes in life, even when you face closed doors, they're not closed with keys, they're just closed. And it's almost like the door was open at one point and then the enemy has closed it to make you think you can't go through it, when all you actually need to do is be brave, pray, and open that door. Why? Because there are other people waiting at the end of your obedience once you open that door. And there's always a reminder that when it comes down to doors are, you know, conduits, they're passageways through places. And oftentimes when you come up against obstacles, doors are closed for a reason, because the enemy does not want you to get through to your other side. That is what the whole thing is always about, stopping you from getting through to your other side, because there are always people waiting at the end of your obedience. Likewise, if doors are also open and you need them to be closed in your life, sometimes doors can be, you know, like when you're at home and people leave the door open and you get a draft. Sometimes you don't want a draft, you need to close that door, seal it off, and lock it off as well. But that's just a quick, I hope, mild musing, a bit of a ramble about doors and the importance of doors, and open doors, closed doors. Other times doors are mentioned in the Bible, and just the importance of the door that was open to Paul in 2 Corinthians and also in 1 Corinthians when he went on to minister in Ephesus. If there's anything else you want to do a random mild musing about, I can have a think and record a video, let me know. Email, inbox, comment in the description bar below, tweet me at me if you're bad, text my phone if you've got my number, whatever it is, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you in another mild musings or another video in life. But yeah, speak soon guys, bye.